Yeah, we could be ready. Yep. All right.
Yep.
All right, I'll call this meeting to order. Ms. Kraft, can you take a roll, please?
Ms. Knapp?
Here.
Mr. Ringel?
Here.
Mrs. Faust?
Here.
Okay, next we have pledge of allegiance.
To the flag, States of America, and to which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first item on the agenda is public comment. Are there any comments from the public?
Jen.
Okay, come on up, Jen.
So Jen Keggy with the Health District, and just wanted to provide a couple of updates. First, wanted to thank Lisa for attending our District Advisory Council meeting last month. So it was great to have you there, show you around, and get some of your feedback on some programming. And so this was probably the first meeting where we had a lot of feedback just about a lot of the programs that we're doing and people excited about them. So that was positive. A couple resources I'll leave for you is just we have our annual report. So that'll show you sort of what we've done for 2023, all of our services. We do have community profiles available for each of our subdivisions. So there's a copy of that in here. And this is something we've done. This is probably our third time doing this, and we continue to tweak these. We're still trying to figure out what is the best data, health data that you would like to see. So I think, at some point this year, we'll probably send a survey out just to kind of gather that information. Our long-term goal, I think, is to build dashboards similar to the county that has all the demographic information, but we would focus on health information that you could maybe trickle down to your particular subdivision. So I'll leave those for you. I'll make sure Sydney has something to put up on your website. And then there's just a resource for solid waste special collections. Just if you need to dispose of something, the best way to do that. And so I'll be able to share that. A few things just kind of on the horizon. We got 2 grants this year. So working on older adult falls prevention. So we'll be collaborating with SourcePoint to work on that. So looking at home modifications, if somebody needs a grab bar in their home or other items, we can work with SourcePoint to get that done. Falls risk assessments, some mobility and balance training activities. So we'll be working on that. And then we also got a youth suicide grant. So we were one of 21 counties that were invited to apply, and they awarded 6 grants. So that just got started. It's a 3-year grant. Our primary focus will be the 43015 in Delaware. However, we have a secondary focus area, which is the southern part of the county. So it's essentially Orange Township, Lewis Center, Liberty Township, Powell area. So, and it's looking at suicides ages 10 to 24. So as we get more involved in that grant, I'll be sure to share some updates. The big things we'll be working on is expanding our Signs of Suicide program in the schools, helping to get that education out there and provide resources if the students need help. Where do they go for that? Working with a few gun shop owners. So probably the one that is right down on 23, we're going to possibly work with them to do some education, make sure their staff are trained, be able to provide gun locks or gun safes to, I think, really targeting people who have younger children in their house. That was one of the things when we look at our suicide data, the method that is used most is firearms. And then working with our university, working with Ohio Wesleyan, probably the DACC, Columbus State, to train future healthcare providers in how to do screening and referrals for people that are at risk. So we'll share more with that as we kind of get more involved in it. Any questions?
At the meeting, you said that Delaware County was had one of the higher rates of suicide in that age group.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Do you know what rank we were?
We, like when they did, ODH did some kind of formula in order to rank us for the grant, we were right in the middle of the 21 counties that were considered the highest. And we can get, like, I can get more in-depth numbers and stuff for you so you guys can kind of see. We did a suicide report last year, so that is on our website, but it doesn't drill down to exact areas. But I'm more than welcome to share that information. Yeah.
I'm glad that we got that grant.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed touring the building. The tour that you gave me was really nice. It's an amazing building. It was so beautiful and compared to the old place, but it's really cheerful and airy and tons of room to expand. And it was absolutely gorgeous. So, and you guys give tours to anyone that would like to, come see it.
Anytime, come up, visit us, we'll take you through.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Jen.
Are there any other public comments? All right, come on up. Sure.
Good afternoon. My name is Chase. I'm with the Delaware County Board of Developmental Disabilities, and you may or may not know, but we serve about 2,400 people throughout the county from birth through the lifespan. And I'm here today to talk to you about our block party. So we started our block party back in 2017, bringing in a bunch of our community partners and also our provider agencies and independent providers to talk about the services that they provide. It has grown every year since 2017, and now we average around 400 to 500 attendees and around 50 different vendors or people who have tables there. This year, we'd really like to have it at North Orange Park. We saw what you did with the Founders Day and thought that would be a really great setup for us as well. And we always did it around the same time of the year. So we are here to request that you allow us to use your park on September 5th from 4 to 7 for our block party for your consideration.
What day of the week is that?
It's a Thursday.
Thursday? So that's after
Labor Day.
Labor Day? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I just since the Board of Disabilities, Development Disabilities is a great partner with us, I was going to ask the board if you all were willing to waive the rental fees for the park, and we'll have a presence there. We've already talked to the fire department to do a touch of trucks, so it'll be a joint effort to get you guys have your block party.
Will you set up, we set our vendors up on the parking lot area. Will we do
Correct.
something like that?
Absolutely.
So we work with stylists to block off parking lot area. Great. Yeah. It's a fantastic venue for an event, so.
It is.
We've been to your party a couple times. I have a son that gets your services, so it's come a long way since it first
It
started.
has.
So,
It has. We started in our parking lot, so.
yeah.
Yes. Where did you have it last year?
Last year it's at Liberty Township Park.
Okay. And how many people usually attend?
We average around 400 to 500.
Oh, that's a lot. So that park would still be open to anyone, but it will also be hosting this as well?
Yeah. Biggest thing, it's after pool season, so
Oh, yeah. That's
it'll be
important.
more available for the
Yeah.
space.
Do we need a resolution? for
I
that?
would ask just maybe a consent agenda or a consent item. Mhm.
Do I have consensus
Yes.
to allow the Delaware County Board of Developmental Disabilities to use Orange Township Park on September 5th, 7th, and to waive the fee?
Yes.
Yes, from 4 to 7.
4 to 7.
And then he'll coordinate that with staff and Michelle.
Yes.
right?
Yeah. We've already had a planning meeting. So
Okay. Oh, good. Okay, good. Great.
Thank you.
Sounds fun.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
thanks, Chase.
Okay, any more public comment? Yeah, come on up.
Good afternoon. My name is Jim Srigliano. I live at 8480 Stonewoods Lane. And if those of you who don't know where that is, that's in the Villas at Riverbend condominium complex. And we have quite a large elderly group of people there who are very curious about what's going on, but none of them will come to the meetings and ask. So I got volunteered to come and ask
Lucky.
if there's any plans that you know of for the Panera building
Yeah, we do.
on Owens Field. They said, a lot of neighbors said they saw a lot of activity, people going in and out, and we're just curious.
Robin, yeah, our zoning director.
So the zoning department approved what's called a change in use permit for that building last month. It's to be converted into another Broken Egg Cafe.
Broken Egg Cafe.
Kind of like a
breakfast
First Watch Scramblers
Oh, okay.
breakfast thing.
Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I don't think we have one of those.
Broken Egg Cafe, I better write it down.
Another broken egg?
Another Broken Egg.
Another broken egg.
Oh, another broken.
That's part of the name?
Yes.
That's funny. All right, well, thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Thanks for
My
being brave
neighbors
enough to come. I said, thanks for being brave enough to come. We're not scared.
Must think you all had that.
They're welcome anytime.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, that's good news. We need a good breakfast place in there. Any more public comment? No. Next we have general announcements. Are there any announcements?
I have one. Want to congratulate and recognize Chief McNeil for completing the Ohio Fire Executive Program. So congratulations on that. It's a 2.5-year program focusing on acquisition of knowledge, cultivation of self-awareness, transformation of perspective, refinement of skills, and adaptation of behavior. So we appreciate all of the service you provide, but also that you're willing to go above and beyond to make sure that your management skills are at the top that they can be. So thank you.
Is that, how many hours does that take? Sounds like a lot.
This is over 200 hours in class altogether, and then 400 hours off outside of the classroom.
Oh, wow.
So you write 50 papers, about 50 papers altogether. Smaller papers to a full research paper. So
Wow.
it's pretty involved.
That's very impressive. Yeah, thanks for doing that.
Thank you.
Okay, any more answers?
Nope.
I was just looking at our next event is our shredding event on Saturday, May 11th, and that is from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and that'll be at North Orange Park. So if anyone has records or documents to shred, that's the place to be.
And there's no fee for that, right? You can just come.
Is it
Yeah.
Orange Township residents only?
No. Just, non-government.
5 boxes, right?
5 boxes of paper per car.
I do have another shout out. So this past Saturday, Orange Township hosted the board of the Ohio Township Association, and our administrator, Michelle Bonney, gave an excellent presentation on the history and future of the township. And I think it was very well received by all of the board, and they appreciated all of the information that Orange was able to share. So just want to congratulate our administrator on a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as part of that event, they did a scavenger hunt, which they took the scavenger hunt that the township put on last year, I think, and maybe shortened it a little bit because it was, I don't know, they used our scavenger hunt and they had a great time. So
We did.
if we ever do another scavenger hunt.
I was also
It's real
told
fun.
they were supposed to do some type of like video ad of my presentation, like what they learned from it.
Right.
So I look forward to seeing that.
And that was on a Saturday, is that right?
That was last Saturday. Yeah.
Last Saturday, okay. Okay, any more announcements or shout out?
I don't have anything. Okay, great. So we did, Chase did present already, so we can, from the Delaware County Board of Development Disabilities. So
That's not-
we're
okay,
good
we'll
with
press
that.
that one. Good. Okay, next we have agenda changes. Are there any changes to the agenda?
I have a couple, under the consent agenda, I did add the special meeting minutes from yesterday's meeting, April 16th. The trustees held a special meeting at the Regional Planning Commission last night. The minutes are very simple. The records showed that the Regional Planning Commission did not have a quorum. Therefore, it was more of a work session. But because we had the board, some of our trustees there, including myself, we created a special meeting, and again, simple minutes that reflects that. The other two items under operations, we have, additional consent item for Reichland Construction. This is another purchase order for Bell Canyon Phase 1 Trail. And then under fiscal report, we'll add an additional item for certificate of estimated resources.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's 18 minutes.
Okay. I make a motion to approve the consent agenda for the regular trustee meeting held on April 17th. Or am I approving the consent agenda? But I don't have to approve, that's part of it, right? The minute?
Yeah, you say.
Just the consent agenda.
You say,
Okay.
again, 24-118 approving electronic records and 24-119 approving.
Okay, make a motion to approve the consent agenda for the regular meeting held on April 17th, 2024, and that includes resolution 24-118, approving the electronic record of the proceedings from the regular trustee meeting held on April 3rd and the special meeting held on April 16th, 2024, and resolution 24-119, approving purchase orders, then and now purchase orders, and blanket purchase orders as listed.
Second?
Mrs. Faust? Yes. Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. Okay, next we have the development and zoning report. Mr. Duffy?
Good afternoon, trustees. We will start with a Board of Zoning Appeals meeting that we are holding tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. here in this room. There are 3 applications on that agenda. The first is for a detached garage that would encroach on a 35-foot rear yard setback in the Sanctuary at the Lake subdivision. The other 2 are for signage. The first is for Little Bear Village. They are requesting conditional use and variance to allow for a monument sign. This would replace the current monument sign that they have up, but it would be in a different location. And then the third application is for a total of 3 directional signs for the BJ's wholesale facility. The variance is to allow those directional signs to be larger than the code currently allows.
Robin, I don't have a question about any of those, but do we have any idea when the housing that's next to BJ's is going to do anything?
I don't have a firm timeline on that.
Okay.
Anything else?
So next week we do have a zoning commission meeting, Tuesday, April 23rd here in this room at 6:30. We have 2 applications on that agenda. The first is the Pickups Plus rezoning. So the Pickups Plus parcel that is currently farm residential north of their existing facility, they are requesting to rezone to planned commercial to allow for an expansion of their business. It would be a separate building, but would be similar to the operation that they currently have on their site. And then the second is an amendment for single-family planned residential district for the planned Pulte development near 23 and Home Road along Green Meadows. They are requesting to amend their development plan to finalize their amenities and to make some minor changes to accessory structures.
Those 4 pickleball courts?
Those are pickleball courts.
Wow.
The idea was that in their original plan, they had a swimming pool, but they decided that they kind of wanted to go into a direction where they could activate that space more year-round. So pickleball courts, they have some grills and seating facilities, and I believe a bocce ball court as well.
You can always join the North Orange Aquatic Center. Use that pool.
And then we still have the two tabled overlay applications, the Lewis Center self-storage and then the 79 Parkway application. I do not have updates for either of those.
Else? That's all?
I have nothing further.
All right, thank you. And next we have operations report. Mr. Bauer?
Good afternoon, Board. First thing on the operations report today is the recommendation to appoint Nicholas Salvatore to a full-time Parks and Facilities labor position through a pretty lengthy interview process and selection process. Mr. Salvatore is our top candidate. Would like to recommend his hiring to the Board. The other thing on the operations agenda is our annual road improvement contract with Shelley Company this year. Of course, that's coordinated with the help of the Delaware County Engineers Office. They've been helpful for years and years to the township, and this year's no different. We'd like to go ahead and recommend approval of this year's road work to the Board to be able to submit to the county.
And the Shelley contract is that 1.2 million that we saw in the consent
Correct.
agenda, right? So that's basically road repairs throughout the township this.
Correct, and it's an
repair season.
inclusive number that includes some money that's going to be coming out of one of the TIFs, and another little patch of money that's for contingency that we hopefully won't dig into. So the number's a little bit inflated. It'll come in a little bit lower, but that does include everything.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And when will Nicholas start?
22nd?
Monday.
Monday.
Great. We're excited to have him.
Pending
join the
board
team.
approval Monday.
Right. Well, right, assuming we approve.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, I make a motion to approve resolution 24-120, appointment of Nicholas Salvatore for a full-time non-collective bargaining position of laborer.
Second?
Mrs. Fowles?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. Okay. And next we have resolution 24-121, authorizing execution of the Delaware County Engineers 2024 Delaware County Road Improvement Program construction contract with the Shelley Company and authorize the issuance of a purchase order.
Second?
Mrs. Fowles?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. Okay, next we have the fire report, Chief.
Good afternoon, Board. So a little backstory, our EMS billing company currently, they are, pretty much everybody in Delaware County has been using them. They have decided not to continue to have a billing portion in their company. So therefore, we're trying to find another company, and this is what's in front of you today. After sitting with 5 different companies, we narrowed it down to MediCount, and we'd like to, our current agreement with Change Healthcare ends here in June. So we want to start the process to start onboarding with MediCount. One update that would be needed though, Lisa, is that I probably want to add MediCount Management Inc. to it, because looking at this, it's MediCount Company, but they have that also in there, so that way it'll cover just in case. So
Like,
we could,
oh, that's the name of it?
Medicount what?
MediCount Management Inc.
Got it. Thank you.
So,
Oh, I see, yeah. It's in the client service agreement.
yes.
Okay. Any questions?
Are other townships moving forward with MediCount as well?
Yes, so well, I can't speak for, I know Liberty, they are moving forward, and I believe Janelle also is going to, as far as, we're the ones that met with them most recently. As far as outside of that in Delaware County, I'm not sure. We do know Worthington uses them, Concord uses them, and they're very happy. They've been using them for a long time. So we got a lot of good. And also in my OFE class last week, I did find 2 other departments are using and have phenomenal stories about them. So
Excellent.
And we should note on the stuff with the medical right now, they're aware of the reimbursement delays?
no, so because Change Healthcare, well, they came out and said that we're dropping everybody, we're getting out of the business. And then within 2 weeks later, they had a major cyber attack, and they have not been able to collect money. They've been doing nothing. They don't answer emails, phone calls. I did talk to an individual that works there. I had her personal cell, and she said right now until everything is resolved. Rumor is later this month, around the 24th or so, they're going to start getting the reimbursements and everything going, which also includes we had a couple of residents and non-residents that came in, try to pay their bill because they've been trying to contact the company. And unfortunately, there was no way. And so when I talked to this individual, they said when they get another bill, that's when it's back up and running. So.
And do you know if it's been communicated to anyone who's received a bill about the issue and not being able to pay and that they're granted extensions?
No, because it's a third party, so we're not able to really deal with that. So, and they basically shut everything down. They stopped emailing. I mean, in my understanding, there was,
It's one of the top 3 cyber attacks of the last 12 months, I believe.
Yes.
If you look at it.
Should we have something on our website that communicates to the residents that if you had a EMS call and, which
Might not be a bad idea. We haven't gotten any revenue also. I mean, I think last month we had $5,000, where normally we get anywhere from $30,000 to $55,000, $60,000 a month in billing revenue. So that's basically been shut off. So until this is fixed. So
When would this go into effect?
So with us, we were actually supposed to be dropped May 1st. However, I was able to talk to them July 1st to give us more time. And so we are able, as soon as we get the process started, they said it takes approximately 30 days from the start. The biggest thing is I'll be working with Lisa as far as the stuff they'll need fiscally for the company. So they said about roughly 30 days. So as soon as possible, I would like to get transferred over. And then, of course, change is still going to, everything they owe us up until now, so we'll have this other company start collecting as soon as they're up and running, and then they'll pay us what they owe us from there. So.
And what kind of communication were you thinking?
Just something on the website that explains, I don't know where we would put it, but if you've had any, just kind of explains the situation. If you've had an EMS run from this date to this date, there's explaining
or if you received a bill in the last 45 days and haven't been able to pay it, then please.
Maybe we should reach out to the company to see if they've made any kind of public statement as to
you won't be able to get a hold of the
delays.
company right now until everything's. So we get updates every other day from the company, just very generic. But they hadn't sent any bills out when this happened. There was no bills or anything. And so I've only had, I think I had 1 resident and 2 non-residents that were auto accidents that were in this area. They came to ask, how do I reach? Other than that, and those were a few months prior to all this happening. So I believe for the most part, we haven't any major calls or from residents asking, hey, I'm trying to do this, but we could still put something out. And just, pretty much.
Maybe you guys work as a team and figure out
We only get a few because it's soft billing, right? So most of the money we get from the insurance company, not from residents.
Yeah.
There's only a few. Okay.
Yeah, so most times people don't even realize it goes to the company. So
it's pretty rare that we have to bill a resident, and then they don't have to actually pay it because it's soft billing.
Okay.
How many non-residents? It's probably pretty rare that we.
No, we actually get quite a few when they're coming through Township on 23, get in an accident, and
But those are the ones that would be more likely to have to be paying, but probably a smaller portion.
Yes.
So you have contact with, so that they announced they were doing this, and then 2 days later there's a cyber attack?
Basically how it happened, we got a letter overnight, certified letter that said that we are no longer going to be receiving their services. I was the first one in the area to get it, and then that day found out Liberty got it. But I think the next day they received one. And so then we started realizing this was bigger. And then it was actually OTA. We were talking to our legal group that's there, and they said, yeah, we're getting calls from all over because it wasn't just us. They're getting out of the change was taken over by Optimum, and they're getting away from the EMS billing. So,
Okay. So how did you know about the cyber attack?
so basically what happened was we received if I remember correctly, we received an email about the cyber attack, that there was a cyber attack. It came over through a generic email, and then I was trying to call the company for a little bit. Actually, we were trying to work something else too, and I had a number for someone I was able to contact to find out a little more info about what's going on, but they basically shut off all communication. You couldn't call, patients couldn't call the phone lines or anything. It was just like and this was being directed by FBI and everybody else. So
That's what they said.
it was a lot bigger
That's
than.
kind of weird.
So-
Yeah. Almost seems as though they just shut down business and just shut everything down. I don't know. That's a little bit shady, I think. But they shut everything down, and I don't know if we'll ever hear from them again. So
Yeah, maybe. But
Yeah.
it looks like this new company is.
yeah, that's great.
Yes.
I know. Thank goodness. I'm glad you're
Thanks for
doing this.
finding us a new company.
Yeah, that's good. Is there anything else on here? Is it just the one item, right?
Yes.
Okay, make a motion to approve resolution 24-122 approving an agreement with MedAccount Management is it
Inc.
LLC or Inc? Inc.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. Next, we have fiscal office report. Ms. Crowe?
Yeah. Okay, let me just put this number in here real quick. And we can talk financials with 4-122. Okay, just a quick update from March financials. In the general fund, we ended with $10,395,688. In roads, $3,031,082. Fire, $8,756,379. Parks at $4,621,961. And all the other funds, the grant funds and Veterans Memorial Fund, those funds, all total gas tax, that kind of stuff, $3,773,484. Overall, year-to-date revenue at 9.8 million, and year-to-date expenses 5.4. We did get, I believe, the last of the Vail Canyon Phase 1 checks written, correct? Wasn't that what we just wrote last week?
Not the last one.
Okay, we have one more? Okay, okay. Okay, so we still have one more on that, and then we'll obviously have our, the PO that was approved for Shelley and Company for road paving, so that'll be, 1.3 million coming out here at the end of the summer. Pool expenses are starting to come out now too. We wrote our installment, the May 1st installment is in the stack of checks for you guys to sign for Columbus Pool Management, so we'll start to see those expenses start coming in. Okay, any questions? Great. The next I have an appropriation change for $80. We were very precise when we put in our expected grant funds, but we actually got $80 more than we expected. So this is changing the appropriation so we can spend the extra $80 that we are receiving. So that's what the 124 is. And then 125 is for and Silas, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but it's for road repaving. He's got enough budgeted in the improvement of sites line item, but he's basically moving this money over to cover any contingencies that might happen in the road paving this summer. Correct? Yep. So taking it from contingencies to become the contingency for that capital project. Okay. Then last but not least, third amended certificate. This was just fixing some balances on some bond funds, or not bond funds, some of our grant funds. So you should have seen the certificate of estimated resources that was approved by the Budget Commission in your backup. And that's all I got.
Any questions?
Nope.
Okay, make a motion to approve resolution 24-123 review of the March bank reconciliation and financial reports.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. Make a motion to approve resolution 24-124 revising and/or increasing permanent appropriations established in Resolution 23-288.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. And make a motion to approve Resolution 24-125, revising and/or increasing permanent appropriations established in Resolution 23-288.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. And last, I make a motion to approve Resolution 24-126, accepting and approving the third amended certificate of estimated resources.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. All right. And next we have Ms. Bondi with the administration report.
Yes, thank you. I'll actually have Mr. Kremnitzer talk about the first two items.
Afternoon, trustees. Just have a couple things for you. The first one is update the position description. So previously, the board had approved some part-time positions for us in the parks maintenance and facilities labor and the public works labor positions, and we were going to transition those over into seasonal, full-time seasonal. We discussed it a little bit at the last meeting, so this is a resolution to go ahead and make that formal.
And that's seasonal, it looks like May 1st through August 31st.
Ideally.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll depend on the, applicant's availability as well. Yeah. And then the second item is just a reimbursement of sick leave hours for firefighter Trevelya. So he had 283.5 hours of sick leave that we need to reimburse him. That claim has been approved. If there's any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
I have none.
I have none.
I can go off and read the April birthdays and anniversaries. I'm really good at it. So April birthdays this month, earlier this month, it was Trustee Lisa Knapp's birthday, April 5th, and Trustee Erica Faust's birthday, April 6th. Happy birthday again. Our newest Assistant Fire Chief, Adam Miller's birthday, April 6th. Firefighter Marcus Sprout, April 6th. Firefighter Posey, April 9th. Firefighter Grubb, April 10th. Fire Prevention, Philip Couch, April 24th. Anniversaries, it's our Fire Chief Nathan McNeil's 3 years on April 5th. Thanks for being here. Our Fiscal Officer Lisa Crafts, 4 years, April 1st. Our Public Works Assistant Manager Dave Gilson, 7 years on April 17th. Firefighter Forrest Still, 7 years on April 27th. Firefighter Adam Eisen, 8 years on April 13th. Firefighter Jonathan Hiley, 8 years on April 27th. Firefighter Matt Kokas, 9 years on April 15th. And Firefighter Stephen Baker, 15 years on April 8th. Thanks. So just two resolutions for the administration report.
Okay. I make a motion to approve Resolution 24-127, update the part-time employment position descriptions to seasonal for the parks, maintenance, and facilities labor and public works labor position.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. I make a motion to approve Resolution 24-128, authorize the reimbursement of sick leave hours for firefighter Jeffrey Chevalier.
Sedalia.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. Okay, and there no old or new business, right? Okay.
Nope.
I make a motion to enter into a resolution, to approve Resolution 24-129, enter into executive session to consider the appointment, compensation of a public employee or official.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. Invited to attend our fiscal officer, Lisa Kraft, Michelle Bonney, and Mike Kremnitzer. Okay, we're ready, I guess. Okay. Let's see, I make a motion, make a motion to approve Resolution 24-130, return to regular session?
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes. No further business?
No.
Okay, I make a motion to approve Resolution 24-131, meeting adjournment.
Second?
Mrs. Faust?
Yes.
Mr. Ringel?
Yes.
Ms. Knapp?
Yes.